Yeah, I heard about Ibogaine when I was probably nearly 20. I read about it in a book, and I was very interested in psychedelics at the time, but it didn't really fit into my life. But I remembered it all these years later. Basically, I went through about a decade of on and off opiate abuse, and I went through countless Western style rehabs. I cold turkey. I went through detoxes, rehabs of all sorts, um, sober living environments. I tried religion. I tried everything. So I was pretty desperate and destitute. Um, and I remembered Ibogaine all those years, but I didn't find it feasible at the time to leave the country. And frankly, I couldn't stabilize my life long enough to build a savings account for many years. So basically, I had a friend that we were both struggling together in San Francisco, and he was able to come down to Mexico and do Ibogaine, and then go to aftercare, which is I'm at the same place he came to. He has 3 or 4 years now. I can't remember exactly how many, but he gave me the inspiration and the courage to, I guess, turn a corner and really start working toward trying Ibogaine. I was on methadone and using still in the streets, and I turned a corner. I was able to drop all the other drugs. I stayed clean for about 2 years, and I saved up. And yeah, I don't know what. There was just an intuitive calling to Ibogaine. I have always believed in plant medicines, and so far it's worked out great. So I'm glad I did it. Well, it's kind of in a few parts for me. The actual flood of Ibogaine was um, just an intense, quick detox. It was like a quick purge. Um, I could almost viscerally feel the detox or the toxins leaving my body. As far as the withdrawals go, I came straight off methadone, which is typically not advised. I wasn't able to switch to a short acting opiate. Just it would have been very costly, and it would have been disruptive to my work and home life. Um, so I had a pretty painful post Ibogaine experience, but I was able to manage, and I know the Ibogaine helped. Of course, I had probably some acute and some post acute withdrawals, but I was able to manage, and I've broken through the other side now, thank God. And so yeah, it really really helped. Absolutely, coming off methadone, as most opiate addict knows, most opiate addicts know, is a months long process, and I'm about 2 months in now, and I'm really close to 100% back. So it's been amazing. And but the real magic for me came a few weeks after, and it's still happening for me. I've gone through a lot of pain, but I've learned a good amount to appreciate the pain, and I'm being taught that it's part of the spiritual experience that I'm having. And on top of that, I'm having breakthrough emotions. I mean, I've been emotionally closed for years, and so I'm able to start working on myself. I'm having positive visions of my future. I'm excited for my future, which is something very new for me. And then the second part of my experience is actually the people that helped me all the way through until now. So I've received a lot of love at IbogaQuest and here. Um, People pushing me when I need to be pushed. People slowing me down when I need to be slowed down. And yeah, it's been an interesting and good experience. Well, I heard about IbogaQuest from the same friend. Like I said, I knew about Ibogaine, but I didn't know anything about Ibogaine treatment in Mexico and who was good and who was not so good. And so I listened to my friend's recommendation, and it did help that it was geographically close to this aftercare that I plan on going to. So I called Barry up. First, actually, I looked him up online, and I was thoroughly impressed. He's been, in the business for a long time. His clinic has an amazing track record, which is, a great thing. I was able to feel safe even before going. And after talking to Barry on the phone, I was just even that much more impressed. He's such a humble and gentle man, and I'm very happy I went. You can tell that the employees there just kind of pour their heart and soul into helping people, and it's an amazing place. So I definitely felt safe. I felt taken care of. I needed to be taken care of for a couple weeks. And shortly after doing the Ibogaine flood, I was doing things like crying and laughing, and it was very intense and strange. So it's slowed down a little bit, but I'm able to work with it a little more now, and so I'm just making these connections that I've wanted to make for years. I feel like somewhere deep down inside of me, there's got to be a reason why I used for all those years, and it's just been a little bit of a mystery for me all this time. That at times is very difficult. Sometimes I'm angry, sometimes I'm sad, other times I'm euphoric with joy. But it's really wonderful to be experiencing all these things again, and I think it's nearly a direct result of doing Ibogaine and helping my brain heal. And yeah, for probably a decade, anytime I considered my future, it would be through the lens of fear, doubt, and confusion. And now at some point I was sitting in at this aftercare by myself, and I was kind of daydreaming about my future, and it was through the lens of creativity. I was excited to go back to California and start living again, and I was considering all the healthy things I could do, and I caught myself thinking that way, and it was so surprising. It really caught me off guard because I haven't been thinking that like that for so many years. So um, it's a huge change. I'm also feeling a lot of gratitude that I haven't felt for a long time.